And we are back. Second base with Bowman and Burks.
How's everybody doing? It's the holiday season.
It is the holiday season, and the sports world has given us so much to be thankful for. Baylor's in the top 10. Oklahoma's in the top 10. Oregon's dropped out, and Texas will be looking for a new head coach.
No, they won't.
Several teams in Texas will be looking for a new head coach.
Why do you think they're going to be looking for a new head coach? Come on. Why? Okay, why is Texas going to be looking? You don't think they're going to let him go with one more quarterback?
I mean,
yeah, he gets another quarterback.
He gets another year. I'm just talking. But he's not the one we're worried about right now.
Yeah, well, everybody's worried about Jason Garrett.
I mean, I'm not worried about him.
Apparently, including the New York Giants are worried about him.
Because word on the street is they want him if he doesn't get renewed. And that's the biggest thing. Jason Garrett, we're just going to jump right into it. Jason Garrett's contract is up at the end of this season. So if he doesn't get hired again or offered a new contract, he's not fired. He's
a free agent.
He's a free agent, yeah. And I think we as fans are like, yeah, we should fire Jason Garrett. Like, why would you fire? Regardless,
okay. I know some people want to get rid of him. They're like, hey, you got a good team. This is your shot. If you change your message, maybe you get more out of that team. But I think it's going to hurt you to alter your message during the season.
Exactly. So I'm like, no, mid-season firings do no one
Jerry
any
Jones
good.
doesn't believe him.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't. No GM in the NFL should. What does firing a head coach in the middle of the season do for you? Nothing.
Now, the only pro I've heard for it is if you wanted to give Chris Richard an opportunity to go in and prove he can be a head coach.
Is he the defensive coordinator?
Passing game coordinator / co-defensive coordinator or something.
Okay, so he needs to no.
I don't think he's your problem.
So Kiffin's still the defensive coordinator, right?
No, Kiffin is gone.
Oh, okay.
Man.
I don't know who the defensive coordinator is for
Marinelli.
Dallas. Rob Marinelli. That's what I meant. The other old guy.
The other old guy.
Because Kiffin's with Lane and his son in Florida Atlantic.
In Florida, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do somebody old.
That's
Rob Marinelli.
That's a good place for him to go retire in Florida.
Yeah, because
he's like 80. But I'm telling you, your boy down there, he's going to be fine. Everybody's putting pressure on Jason. If Jason, look, it's going to be hard to fire him if he wins 2 games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're going to make the playoffs.
And that's what he's got to do. That's what he has to do.
That's what he had to do at the beginning of the year. It's what he has to do now. It just kind of sucks the way he's going about it.
Yeah, because I was looking to say, we talked about this before we recorded. I've been talking about it with my students at the high school last couple of weeks. All Dallas has to do is finish 8-8 and go 6-0 in the division. In their own division. If they went out in their own division, they're the 4th seed.
I really could see a path where 8-8 gets you in.
Exactly. And for them, that's the only way because there has to be a division winner in the East. We picked teams earlier the season, before the season started. I don't remember what we said. I think I picked the Eagles to win. I'm an idiot.
Right.
I picked the Cowboys second.
The Eagles are only 1 game back, so it's not like that's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. So the Cowboys can get in at 8-8, so they have to go 2-3 to finish out the last 5 games of the season.
Yeah, but they need to go 3-2.
They need to go 3-2, 4-1,
at least
something.
3-2. Yeah, 4-1 would make everybody feel better about it. 3-2 gets you in with 9 wins, and probably if you don't win 2 rounds in the playoffs, you get fired.
And the test is Thursday because Thanksgiving Day game, and they're playing the Denver Broncos, the Buffalo Bills.
They are, but
a hot 8-3. I can't believe I'm saying that 8-3 Buffalo Bills team.
Okay, yeah. I saw a stat on Facebook earlier. I forget who it was from, but like if you go and look at records of the teams the Cowboys have beat and the Bills have beat, one has a 239 win percentage. The other one has like a 250 win percentage.
Yeah, they're not any good. Neither one. But
so neither one of them have beat anybody that's good. So this will be their opportunity to beat teams with winning records.
Yeah, but the Bills have 2 more wins to show for it.
So they got to play 2 weaker teams. I mean, the Bills are in a division with some weak teams.
Well, the Cowboys are too, and apparently their only wins are. Here's the thing, though. They are in a division with weak teams, but guess what one of those weak teams are?
Who?
The Jets.
That's true.
And guess who the Jets beat?
Yeah.
So
we all know the Jets beat them, and Jerry Jones knows the Jets beat the Cowboys, and that's the one game that's gonna come back to bite Jason
Yeah,
Garrett in the butt.
I think every NFL team throughout the course of a season, I've heard it called the burn the tape game. It's the game that you just don't watch. You just like everything went wrong. We can't gauge you on this game because it was so bad on all levels that you can't possibly be that bad again.
It started snowballing, and there was no getting it back under control. So
Yeah, so just throw it out. Like, we sucked, we got beat, no excuses.
Well, I mean,
but we're not going to watch it.
Now, all the talk is now Jason or Jerry Jones finally come out publicly criticizing his coaching staff and kind of taking them to task over, well, you can't put yourself in the position to have to come into this place in this era of football, as dominant as they are, and have to get a win and then do what you did tonight.
Yeah, speaking about the New England Patriots, and I watched that game, and it was a weird game.
I didn't get to watch it. We got home late. I listened to it on the radio.
It was a weird game.
Well, it was bad weather.
Yeah.
But there's so many things. Okay. Special teams will get you fired in this league.
Exactly.
Special teams is one of those things we don't ever worry about. Everything's supposed to be automatic, and they've had multiple miscues on special teams.
See, I missed that part of the game. Like, I watched, I watched the second half. So whatever
you
happened,
should have been able to see
the Matt Maher stuff. All I saw on Facebook.
I'm not even talking about Maher.
I don't know what happened, but all I'm talking about all I saw on Facebook at one point before I started watching the game was fire Matt Maher. Matt Maher. Brett Maher, whatever his name is, Matt, Brett, whoever, yeah. Tim.
Keith O'Quinn is the one that needs to be fired.
Like so what happened? Let me know because I didn't see it.
All right, so horrible windy conditions. I'm not blaming Maher for missing kicks. Yeah, you should make those. But the conditions are horrible. But the biggest ones are, one, we had a punt blocked where they got their only touchdown.
I saw that on the highlights, yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. You can't do that. And other than that, for the second time this season, we have issues with guys fielding the ball that were in these conditions. They haven't been able to put it kicking into the wind to the end zone yet. And both of our return guys were back at the goal line instead of up at like the 10 or 15 yard line, and it fell in front of them, and they almost didn't get the football.
So just simple, correctable.
Yeah, stuff you should have said, hey, obviously he can't kick it that far. Everybody move up. Even if you're just yelling at him from the sideline, move up. Yeah. And if it gets behind you, it goes out.
There's always a scapegoat. Like you said, special teams is one of those things, like no one knows the kicker. Like you were talking about, it's Brett Maher, my bad. No one cares about the kicker until they make the game-winning field goal or they missed 3 field goals in the game, and they lost the game because the kicker missed a bunch of field goals. He missed 3 plays and the other 90 offensive plays, the other 75 defensive plays. You know, he wasn't out there to do anything, but he missed 2 field goals. So it's all his fault.
But there's a bunch of talk about them going and kicking the field goal that brought them within 4, so a touchdown will win for them.
Stupid decision.
It's not that stupid of a decision.
It's a stupid decision.
No. That wasn't the dumb decision. The dumb decision was on 3rd and 7, not treating that as a 2-down opportunity.
Yeah. Well, regardless,
no, that's where it is, because 4th and 7's real tough to make.
It's real tough to make, but no one's going to question.
3rd and 7, Dak has an opportunity to run for 3 or 4 yards in a wide open field, and Dak wasn't told that this is a
4-down
territory.
Yeah, I get you exactly, but yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that everybody's talking about is the fact that the
Cowboys. Because here's the deal: we don't talk about any of this. If they do, we don't get phantom tripping calls, and because they were running that drive, their 2-minute drill was working perfect.
Yeah, like
they were coming down. That was the worst 3rd down tripping call I think I've ever seen.
Well, the NFL has admitted that, yeah, we made a mistake on both of those, but I hate this. I hate that. We talked about this before with basketball and everything.
With the 2-minute report.
2-minute report.
Look.
We already know. We know. We as fans know. I mean, I guess you admitting it's fine, but we see it. We
saw it. We knew. But that was Bill Belichick putting that in, which they all do that. But that was him putting that in. The referees talking about, hey, look, these linemen trip. Y'all need to be watching for this, prepping them for it. And it paid off. The dude, he was pinched between 2 players, and he fell coming through. And they're like, oh, he was tripping.
Yeah, it's tripping.
I hate for a game like that to be decided by the refs.
By the refs like that.
Yeah. But don't put it in that position. Don't leave it up to them. You should have been ahead by 2 touchdowns, and it wouldn't have mattered.
So, yeah, I think the biggest thing about the Cowboys is that they're consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And that's, Des Bryant come out and said, hey, I'm not saying that Jason Garrett is racist, but he needs to talk to John Harbaugh on how to relate better to his black players.
Yeah, I saw that report. I didn't read it, but I saw the headline.
That's crap, man. I mean,
I don't see what that does, how that relates to windy weather conditions.
So you think Bill Belichick can relate real great to like the new
Belichick doesn't care.
Exactly. Get in line or get off the team.
Yeah. Like the thing, every team is different, and Des Bryant should know that. And I'm not gonna get to that whole situation.
Salty,
he is a little, but what is you doing? Put your name in the conversation. Gonna do?
He just wants attention.
Nobody's
talking about Des. Let's talk about Des.
And
he's an ex-Cowboy. He's got,
he knows
clout
some stuff.
in the
but
community.
Guess what?
Yeah.
He didn't know to talk to you. No one knows how to talk to you.
That's true.
As Des Bryant, like if you're still in New Orleans,
Mike Fisher thinks he does, but
if you're in New Orleans, do you think Sean Payton could get to you?
Yeah. I mean, it was the same way. Him and Tony Romo had a good relationship.
Yeah.
But all the younger guys that come after Des felt like Romo couldn't relate to him. Like there wasn't a relationship there because they didn't come up together.
Yeah, it's just a different gap of stuff. Like, I don't know. Every team's different. You got to find a way to get together. But a coach, I don't think my coach should be like, hey, I didn't talk to y'all on your level. No, I didn't talk to you on a football level. Do you understand what I'm saying as a coach?
And you're a professional athlete. Yeah. I shouldn't have to dumb this down for you.
Yeah, I'm paying you too much money.
You come in here and let's talk like professionals.
Yeah.
And this is the way it is.
My leaders in the locker room should be relating to you. If you want that, let my position leaders do that.
Yeah, if you need that. But I don't know about you, but I don't go in and talk to my boss the same way I talk to my coworkers.
No.
I expect my boss to be different.
Yeah. Not a jerk, not a
but we're not
butthole,
buddies. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not, but like, hey, I have a different set of expectations for him, and hopefully he has the same different set.
And you have
for
to
me.
know when you take that position, that the relationship changes.
I never saw like you said, teachers. There's an old school, new school mentality with teaching. I'm a stand up, preach it and teach it teacher, meaning like I lecture. I like to talk. Y'all notice that. But there's this newfangled way of teaching. Like students should be doing the talking, and you should work in groups and this and that and blah blah blah.
It's all about student involvement, which some students freeze up in that scenario.
Yeah.
So you're not. But either way.
But yeah, so there's that going on. But guess what? And they want us to do that in our classrooms. They use more student engaged learning, student led instruction. It's called student led instruction. But you know what? Preach and teach is sometimes the best way to get things across.
Well, you know what happens sometimes with student-led instruction? The student that's supposed to be leading it gets everybody sidetracked.
And they don't know what they're doing.
Right. Exactly.
Like, guess what? Again, the leader in the locker room, the position leader in the locker room is accountable to who?
Exactly.
The head coach. So if the head coach, if that's a disconnect, that's an issue.
Right.
That's a huge issue. If your coach can't connect with your leaders in terms of football.
And
Tom Brady's already said it. Him and Bill Belichick, I think they tried to go out for beers once.
Right. It just didn't work.
It just didn't work out. Like, they don't try to hang out. They don't want to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't want to. A good boss is kind of like a good parent. They're not your best friend, but you know that when they need to stand up for you, they'll be there.
Exactly. So
that's all you can ask for. But okay, so the big news that come out, Jason Garrett goes on 105.3 The Fan with Sean and RJ yesterday morning. Have you seen this?
No.
This is the analytics question.
Mm-hmm.
And he was point blank asked, hey, everybody's saying like on that 4th and 7 call that, the analytics say you should go for that. Your win probability goes down when you don't go for that.
Yeah.
Okay. John Harbaugh and the Ravens have a 25-year-old Yale kid that gives them all the numbers, and then they can take it and go from there.
But
they know, exactly where everything's at. Do y'all utilize those kind of analytics? And Jason flat out said, we don't use any of that stuff in game. That's not our approach, and we don't feel like that's best for our football team. And then he had to go face the media in his press conference. After that, they asked him the same thing, and he said the same thing. So he pretty much put it out there for everybody. As the game changes, we're not adapting what we do or in trying to get every advantage we can through analytics, depending on the situation. We're just going to go with what we kind of know, football knowledge for the past, so we're not looking into any of the future.
I don't have a problem with it.
That's why everybody wants to fire him
I don't
today.
see the problem, because, again, it works out until it doesn't work out.
Well, and it doesn't take weather into
account and all that stuff.
Like that.
Like, I understand the analytic thing. And again, I was watching the game last night.
All the coaches have a 2-point conversion chart.
Oh, yeah.
Universally accepted. This is kind of what you do, okay?
Yeah.
They may, depending on the flow of the game, they may change what they do, but they know the chart and they have it. So why wouldn't you do the same thing on 4th downs? Why wouldn't you do the same thing on 3rd and longs?
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff. If you're already willing to use that technology, you don't have to do what the numbers say every time, but you need to be able to have that information and factor it in real time.
Well, again, I don't have an issue with what Garrett, how he answered that question.
I do, because he pretty much said that's hocus pocus. We don't believe in it.
No, it's not so much that. I mean, I get that. Now, that's the far left or the far right, the one end of the pendulum. I get that. But as you said, there's a ton. Everybody's getting on analytics now. There's still some teams that don't. Some teams that do the analytics, they try to do the pairings and this and that, whatever. But I think in a perfect world, and again, I know it's not perfect, so let's do the scenario first. In a perfect world, you as a coach would have enough knowledge, you and your coaching staff will have enough knowledge, the flow of the game, the construct, the elements, everything that's happening. It can kind of gauge and feel what's happening in game at that moment. Now, can someone in a box upstairs with a laptop computing stuff real fast say, hey, you have a 12%, we have a 0.12 percentage chance of getting a first down if you go for 4th and 7? I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but again, I'm not against the answer, because Jason Garrett and any other NFL head coach has a vault full of information and knowledge more than I could ever imagine.
Right, but if you could add to that vault, if you could have the fact that, hey, you know what? If we kick this field goal here, our chances of winning decrease by 2%. If we go for it, our chances of winning increase by 2%, whether we make it or not.
Who's the other coaches that use the analytics?
Belichick.
Okay.
And I'm sure with the success Harbaugh's having with this, like I'm sure Ron Rivera has this in his system too. They all have it. It's just John Harbaugh's the first one. Let's just say, I mean, I'm pretty much wanting to put John Harbaugh at this point riding under Belichick as far as second best coach in the NFL.
Wow.
There you go. And one of that is the reason those are probably the two most adaptable coaches.
See, that's the thing.
That's what you have to be able to do.
I see, and we'll get into that something else too. But real fast, going back, piggybacking on what you just said. The only question I have about the whole analytics thing is, it works great if it works.
Well, that's just like they've always said. There's no bad play call. The execution makes it good or bad.
Yeah, but what happens? There's 32 teams in the league. John Harbaugh, like I said, John Harbaugh and Bill Belichick aren't the only two coaches in the league that have an analytics guy.
But they're the only ones that are utilizing it.
I mean, are they? Mm-hmm. What about the other teams that are utilizing it and they still suck?
Well, who are they?
I mean, I don't know. So I'm saying, like, do we not know about them? That's what I'm saying. Like,
are those decisions not, whenever it comes down to it, look, you still have to factor in how your football team's playing and things of that nature. Weather, like I said, is not in there. This is just historically, we've compiled all the data, we've run the numbers. You have access to this. Yeah. And like I could tell you, I'm trying to think what game it was. It was the Cowboys. Cowboys and Saints. Kind of the same thing.
10-12 game?
Yeah. Kind of the same thing in that. and I'm watching on the ESPN app. They have it. It's live on there, and they show you after each play.
Yeah.
And they went from driving the ball with it was like 3rd and 1. They had a like 89% chance of winning that game, and they were down 2 points.
Yeah.
They got a penalty on 3rd down, I think, or went for it on 3rd down and didn't make it. They still had like a 60-something% chance of making it. And then whenever I think they kicked the field goal or they punted. But either way, whenever they made that decision, which I think it may have even been to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
So it may have been earlier in the game. When they made the decision to kick the field goal, it dropped to like 40%.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that, if you watch anything, I mean, you only have to watch a game on ESPN. You talking about? Did you watch the actual game on ESPN?
No, I'm on the app.
Let's talk about the
Yeah,
app.
I'm on like the game
just
right there.
That number's constantly moving.
So if I can see that in real time, why can't they see what it's going to do and factor that in? I want you to take all the information, not just what you remember, what you think, or what your plan was a week ago when you were trying to set up for this. I want you to be able to say, hey, this is how my football team's playing. This is how the game's going. And this is what the numbers say. And I want you to mix all that together. But don't tell me that you don't even want to know what the numbers tell you should do.
Well, here's the thing, though. What can he say?
What do you mean?
I will hire one tomorrow.
They've already got it. They've got a whole analytics department. It's not that they don't have a department.
You said that they don't utilize it in game.
Yeah, they don't take win probability at all into account. That's the thing.
You're trying to sway me.
They're already spending the money on it.
You're
they
trying to
have
sway me.
the people there.
You're trying to sway me.
They have all the technology, everything. They just don't utilize it. How bad is that for me to tell you? That's like saying, man, yeah, I keep the Ferrari parked in the garage. I just don't ever drive it.
So my question is this, and I was watching something the other day, and this question came up. It actually was talking about John. Someone was, it's my uncle Colin Cowherd. I love Cowherd.
Okay.
So I'm not going to steal his bit, but I'm going to go back to your John Harbaugh thing.
Okay.
And he had mentioned the same thing, that John Harbaugh is probably the second or third best head coach in football.
Yeah, I mean,
because of his adaptability and the fact that no one talks about the fact, name the last 5 Super Bowl winning head coaches. I completely forgot John Harbaugh won a Super Bowl.
Has it been in the last 5? Well, Belichick wins 2 or 3 in there, so that 5 stretches out.
I mean, maybe a little longer than that, but
yeah,
it's San Francisco, Jim Harbaugh, and Colin Kaepernick and Joe Flacco.
Right.
I mean,
it was on Joe Flacco's Hall of Fame run. Right,
it's probably like 6 or 7, but even still, John Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl, and I completely forgot.
Yep, with Ray Lewis.
John Harbaugh has had 1 losing season, and I didn't know it.
Yeah,
John Harbaugh.
He's consistent.
Yeah, 10-6 in the playoffs. I wouldn't have known it.
See?
Like I said,
and there's that, and then there's the fact that they take a more diverse quarterback than everybody else wants to. That's why he fell to them.
Mm-hmm.
And said, hey, you know what? This is our quarterback for the future.
Yeah.
Our sit back here pocket passer is kind of, falling off. We're going to move on from him. Come in here, young man. We'll work on you throwing the ball.
Yeah.
But we're going to surround you with what we think it's going to take to be a successful game.
You know how bad it was for me to admit that Lamar Jackson was good?
You know how hard it was for me to admit he was good? Not that bad. I drafted him as my fantasy quarterback.
It was not that bad. Let me back that up. I never in my life thought that Lamar Jackson was
would
a
be
bad
an NFL quarterback.
No, not that.
Okay.
Like, let me put it this way. You watch the kid in college. Like after they destroyed Houston 41-7.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter, and I was like, this thing popped up. There's like a 4-minute clip of Deshaun Watson at Clemson playing Lamar Jackson at Louisville.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh my God, I'll watch this game on TV. And I was like, and then like all this, I'm watching this, I'm like, this is why Lamar Jackson won a Heisman.
Yeah.
This dude is mad crazy. And I was like, on the other side, but Deshaun Jackson Deshaun Watson is just darting, throwing dimes. And, like, I was watching it like, oh, my God. Lamar Jackson was freaking awesome.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Forget the was. Lamar Jackson is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. I fell into it. You fell into it. The whole country fell into it. But when he got drafted, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. He's an athlete. He's not a pocket quarterback. He's a runner. He's a this. He's a this. Da, 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 da. Like, Deshaun Watson's better. This guy's better. Mitchell Trubisky's better. Like, we just like, he's pure pocket, better throw.
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah. Like, we all of a sudden, we all fell into it. Yeah.
Pro quarterback.
We all fell into it. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback.
But
we all fell into it.
But here's the other little problem you got to think about. And everybody sees this comparison to his freaking backup, and you got to know it.
Yeah, RG3.
And RG3 was awesome. 1 year, got hurt in the playoffs, never been the same.
Well, that's
kind of the same thing.
It is the same thing.
He is built different.
I mean, but here's the thing with that though. And I was thinking about, I'm just going back to the Lamar Jackson being a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse my French, damn.
Hey.
This kid is, the dude in the first half went 9 for 9. Yes. The kid threw 16 passes.
He did get to sit for a year. Or
most of a year.
Yeah, most of a year. And they made a point to work on his passing. But somebody in that organization saw the fact that we could help this kid with his throwing.
Oh, and the worst part, they mentioned in the game last night, they're like, his biggest problem last year was the ball. Like the difference between the college ball and the NFL ball, throwing it, it's like he had an issue.
And they had to work on it.
He had to work on it, yeah. Like, but here's the thing. What quarterback walks in from college NFL ready? Maybe 2. Maybe Andrew Luck and maybe Peyton. Well, Peyton Manning.
Peyton did, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Andrew Luck.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm with
Name another one. So I fell into the Lamar Jackson media trap. Like, I'm not saying the media is evil.
RG3 was close.
I'm not.
RG3's first year was awesome.
Yeah, he was incredible. But
for about 17 games.
Yeah, but the offense that they built around Lamar is so drastically different than the offense.
It's so drastically different from anything else in the NFL.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But it's a perfect marriage. And how long will it last? Will it be?
Somebody will figure it out.
That's the thing. I said at the beginning of the year because my kids are like, boy, man, the Ravens. Like, I'm not hating on the Ravens. They went to the playoffs with this kid last year. Like, he's good. Like, statistically, through his first 20 games, he was better than Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and all these other quarterbacks that were like, oh, through his first
they lost to the Browns this year.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the year. That's crazy.
But guess what? No one's talking about that because no one cares.
We're talking about a little bit, going, man, I can't believe this team lost to the Browns.
Yeah,
whenever
they'll be the number one team in the league.
Everybody else.
They'll be the number one team in the league. They would lose to the Browns.
They already are.
That's when the Browns were the Super Bowl champions before they started playing.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So,
but now everybody assumes Belichick will be the one to figure them out.
And I'm sure they will get figured out. But until then, and that was my argument with kids. Because again, I teach high school kids and they play fantasy football stuff. And I just simply said, I thought back to that argument. I thought Deshaun Watson in Houston was going to beat Baltimore because two reasons.
Was going to beat Baltimore
for 2 reasons. One, okay. I've watched more Houston games because it's a regional game.
Right.
I don't really know Baltimore. I haven't watched them play much. I've seen Deshaun Watson play in the last couple of weeks pull off these incredible things. Like, oh, yeah. But again, if I've been watching this whole season Lamar Jackson, I read the stats. I know what he's doing. I don't see it. I had to watch it to see,
Okay, well, that's like this game coming up this week for him.
Yeah. Against the 49ers.
Against the 49ers.
Yeah.
Big game. Well, no, it's not. It's scheduled right now to be a noon game on Sunday.
Sunday. That's right now. Monday night's Minnesota in Seattle. That's right. Monday night.
I don't know who they're probably going to flex that game, but it's we don't know who.
Better.
Houston and New England are the night games, so they're not getting the night game.
That's fun.
They're not getting that. So they may go to the 3:00 game.
They'll keep it. It's fine whatever way. But we watched the game last night. excuse me, we watched the game last night, the Monday night game, and they were just killing. Like at one point, I didn't even realize the score was 35-6.
Yeah, because it didn't look like that. And it looks like a high school game watching it.
Like it's like how did they score 35 points? What? When did this happen?
They're pounding you. They run options outside. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And then he'll throw a strike to freaking Hollywood.
Yeah. Is that the kid's real name?
That's his nickname. It's Marquise Brown.
I like.
Yeah, it's Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, but no one says Marquise Hollywood Brown. It's a Hollywood Brown. Like
it's always it was Hollywood Brown when he was at Oklahoma.
The coldest to ever do it. You know, he's going to anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, I have both of those. In my
I read a stat.
Team,
yeah, I read a stat. Again, Twitter is awesome. Get a Twitter. Where it said in the last 3 games, the Baltimore Ravens have punted twice. And both of those series, RG3 was the quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Lamar Jackson didn't even play the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Because again, and you're like, why is it? Okay.
Here you go. It goes back to one of the reasons Jason Garrett got beat up so much on everything. During that game with Lamar Jackson still at quarterback, they go in. It's 4th and 3 or something.
4th and 3, yeah, and they go for it.
Yeah, they send the kicking team out.
Yeah, and I remember they couldn't even make a big deal of it. Lamar Jackson's like, wait them back off. Go to the field. Get off the field. They're going back on. The offense is going back on. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, they were going to kick, and then they thought about it, and they're like, no, we're going to go for it. He talked to his analytics guy, and they said, go for it, and they made it, and everything worked.
I'm not against the analytics guy. I mean, I'm with you. Okay, so I'm going to sway to your side of the argument.
I mean, how is it a bad argument to have all the information?
Well, as I say, I didn't know. I was thinking like the Cowboys were going to hire a group of dudes and then get them set up.
There. I didn't know. I guarantee you, there was a guy sitting in there like beating on the door. Please, let me tell you what you need to do. Please, I can change.
Some nerdy dude with glasses.
Excuse me, sir. I need to tell you about the emancipation of Puerto,
I mean,
Puerto
or
Rico.
like Jonah Hill from freaking Moneyball. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to excuse me for that weird, half cough, half laugh. See, like I say, and again, it's 2019. If you're a sports organization, forget the sport. If your sports organization doesn't have people like crunching numbers, for one, you're like 20 years behind. 2, if that same group of people who are crunching numbers aren't giving you're not allowing those people to do their job to their fullest.
You're right.
Giving you information. Yeah, you're pretty stupid. I think here's the thing. At a certain point, that's the question I have. You're talking about John Harbaugh's, top, probably the best second head coach in football because he's adaptable.
Yeah,
his adaptability level.
He's not set into where you're going to come in here and do my system.
Where's Garrett?
He's open, huh?
Where's Garrett?
What
is Garrett great at?
On what?
I mean, at anything.
Have you seen that dude clap? I mean, he is solid, man.
Again, you had me sold when he did the all or nothing thing on Amazon. I was sold on him. Like, okay, this dude's got a vibe.
You know what? Jason Garrett, unless it happens this year, guys don't quit on him.
No. I mean, he's got a vibe. I mean, he's not one of those. He's a rah-rah guy. I mean, I
he's genuine with what he's doing. I mean,
yeah.
He tells you that. I believe that's the way he handles himself. I just don't believe he's handling himself right whenever it comes to decision making.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be your process and planning and all this made you more prepared, and we're not that.
So is that his thing? He's the prepared one?
Yeah, he's a process guy.
See, here's my problem. I'm a process guy.
Okay.
But my process is
you do not need to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly, because my process is paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, there's so much up there.
I freeze up in the moment.
And you know what? That may be some of Jason Garrett's problem. Yeah, maybe that's why he doesn't want anybody telling him all these numbers, because he doesn't want to have to overanalyze everything. He just wants to go with what he wants to go
I was just thinking it but I would also have somebody, and Chris Richard, somebody like, hey, I need you to save me from me.
Right. Well, we had to do that with him with like timeouts at the end of a game.
Yeah.
His clock management was horrible.
Exactly. Last year was an issue. Yeah.
Well, it's been like for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but last year especially.
He's been head coach for 10 years. Like all 10 of those.
Yeah.
He has problems with that. But like they at one point designated somebody to tell him, hey, you need to call a timeout here. You don't have timeouts or whatever it is to help him with those in-game scenarios.
The great thing about a good leader is knowing what you're not good at and finding people who are good at it for you.
That's exactly right.
And if Jason Garrett,
it's really tough to do that in a contract year.
I mean, I'm going to do whatever I can to save my bacon if
Yeah,
it's a contract year.
But early on in your deal, if stuff isn't working out, now you have those people to point to. If you haven't had those people the whole time and you go, okay, I need to do this, now you don't have any room for error to kind of figure out how y'all are going to communicate and go, because when y'all make mistakes, you lose football games, and the more football games you lose, the better the chance that you don't have a job.
So answer this question for me. I'm going to play a little game with you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a team.
Okay.
And you, in a sentence, describe the team.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, if
it has to be in one sentence. Can I do more than one?
I mean just like briefly describe the team. Summarize the team briefly. The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, one word. Horrible.
Okay. Seattle Seahawks.
Top heavy.
San Francisco 49ers.
Pleasant surprise.
Seattle Seahawks. I already said that. I mean, New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints. Consistently dominant.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Hope Mahomes doesn't go down.
The New England Patriots.
Dynasty.
Dallas Cowboys.
Old dynasty.
It's funny you said that, because you've heard the flack that Julian Edelman's catching down here in Texas, right?
Nah.
He put out a thing trolling the Cowboys. Apparently, two things happened. And I shared these things. I think they're on the Sick of Base Facebook page. At one point, apparently Tom Brady hates the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, he said he come out of the womb hating the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, at one point, he has a call on the field, and a microphone picks it up when he's on offense, the Cowboys on defense. And the call is, ball 96, ball 96. And I don't know if they audible out or something. It's just like a call that's in the ball 96, 96 ball, 96 ball. The last time the Dallas Cowboys made it to the Super Bowl was 1996. And people like, ooh, he hates the Cowboys. And then Julian Edelman came out and said, we're now America's team. And he made an event. He shared an Avengers picture with all the Patriot faces photoshopped on the different Avengers.
Yeah, well,
and
Julian Edelman's still wrong on who America's team is.
I mean, I know that, but you said old dynasty.
Yeah.
So my question is this, and it's a what if scenario. But let's go back memory lane and the Jimmy Johnson thing. We all know how that thing went down. Could the Cowboys have been the Patriots of now if Jimmy Johnson was still a Cowboy? Was for a longer extended period of time was still a Dallas Cowboy head coach. And again, it's a what if scenario. Things have changed, but in that power structure of football at that moment, to capture that window of time.
Yeah.
If Jimmy Johnson was still running the Cowboys as the GM and head coach and was making those decisions on draft day, and Jerry Jones was just a Robert Kraft guy, Troy Aikman's my guy. Take care of my guy. Everybody else just do what you got to do. Where could the Cowboys have been? At least one more Super Bowl?
Probably, because I think he won 4 straight.
I mean,
because the year he left, they didn't make it, and then they won the year after that.
Yeah.
So I think they win those 4 straight. But the biggest problem the Dallas Cowboys had was the salary cap, which Jerry Jones was pushing for and wanted. But when the salary cap started, now you couldn't just go out and buy these guys.
I'll say, because
and Dion, Charles Haley, guys like that were mercenaries. We just wouldn't pay.
Yeah, because that's what the Rams are dealing with right now. But
but in a salary cap era.
Yeah, but that's the question. Because everybody brought it up. But again, you can't match apples to oranges. I know it is, but it's just fun to talk about. Could the dynasty, the 3 rings, all that, could it have been more if Jimmy was still there?
Maybe.
For a time.
But part of Jimmy's greatness, you have to remember, was the fact that he'd just come from college.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when Pete Carroll got to the NFL.
People had to figure him out.
He'd been dominant, but the draft, the 3 or 4 drafts that he were there for,
he knew those guys.
he'd recruited all of them.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly, kind of what kind of guy they were, what they were good at, what they wasn't. Some of them he had scouted against and stuff like that. So he had better insight to them as college players. And you see that only lasted so long. I don't think we'd say that Seattle's drafted great the past 4 years.
They've gotten better.
Well, right, but they had to change their
strategy.
Initially
Initially
they were, hey, I know all these guys. Here's what we're going to do. And we're Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
To, well, our quarterback got older. We had to pay him.
Mm-hmm. Our line still
Our
stinks.
defense is getting older, and, we're having to run our team a different way.
Yeah, I mean, our running back is...
So that would have been the same thing with Jimmy. Yes.
You think so?
I think we would have won 4 straight. But, that's...
I mean, you think... So 4 for use the number. It would have been 3, it would have been 4.
Right. So you would have had one more, which would have put you tied still with the Steelers for the most ever.
Yeah. And again, I'm not... But like, I just think the Cowboys...
But my statement to Julian Edelman would be, well, you may be America's team, or think that because y'all have been winning lately, but the Cowboys can go 8-8, and they're still worth more than y'all are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, but he doesn't care about the team's work because he's not getting. Of course he does,
because
he's not getting Robert Kraft money.
Robert Kraft didn't get Jerry Jones money.
Well, that's the thing, though. He's America's. He's talking about we're America's team. We beat y'all. Oh, that's also the score, 13-9.
Right. Well, I mean, that's fine, but you're not America's team.
You're not, but you got more rings, and you can brag about it all day. Like, people, that's the thing. Like, do you want the rings or do you want the clout? Because right now, Dallas still has all the clout. They've been a 500 team since they won the last one, but yes, they're still the most popular team in sports.
The most popular team in sports, yes. The highest valued.
And Jerry Jones would give up about $1 billion for one more ring.
Absolutely, he would.
So that's the way it works. That's why Edelman's got a point.
But he's got the $1 billion to give up because
that's true too.
It's America's team, and it's always the thing you want, man. Like if you have a job where you make a lot of money, most of the time you don't have time to go spend that money.
That's true.
If you have a job where you have a bunch of time to go do stuff, most of the time you don't have money to go do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
So it's always what you don't have.
Yeah. So this is one of those one-off scenarios.
But yeah, I mean, I think they would have won more, but like I said, now you have to build your franchise different.
Yeah, I mean, you got to adapt with the times, but let's say that goes back to like, what is Jason Garrett good at? Like, what's his greatness at? I mean, like Andy Reid, he's a great designer of the offense.
Yeah, he's offensive guru.
Yeah,
quarterback.
Ron Rivera, defensive-minded coach. Mike Tomlin, defensive-minded coach. John Harbaugh, yeah, adaptable. Bill Belichick, mastermind of everything. Right. But Jason
mastermind
Garrett,
of everything. Right.
Yeah, I mean, even Bill O'Brien, quarterback guru. Now, granted, he's had a bunch of quarterbacks haven't done great until Deshaun Watson.
Not so much lately. Yeah.
But I mean, lately, kind of now. But early in his career, when he left Penn State, that was his thing. But what is Jason Garrett's? I guess besides being the prepared one,
nobody wants to talk about this. I mean, at one time,
hands.
At one time, Jason Garrett was Sean McVay and all these other guys. He was an offensive.
Good, yeah. So that's my issue. Like,
but then you didn't want him to be that. You want him to be a walk around coach because he's a good leader of men.
But why can't? Where's his fingerprints on the offense?
Oh, it's all over it.
I mean,
it's still there.
Then it's not very good.
Well, they've been running the same thing for 10 years.
It's sticky. His hands, his fingerprints, his hands are sticky. The Cowboys are a solid team. And again, we all know this. They're a solid team.
You know what? When the Cowboys line up, and all things being equal, and we have better talent than people, we generally beat those people.
Yeah.
But there's no scenario where you go in where talent is equal and you go, man, our coaching staff is going to scheme us a way to find a way to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the guy that gives you an advantage at every position, including head coach.
And they don't have it.
And we don't have it.
In most cases. I mean, because he almost got beat by the Detroit Lions.
He did get beat by the freaking Jets.
Yeah, and you almost got beat by the Detroit Lions with Bo Scarborough, who was on your squad that you drafted and realized this guy sucks.
But Detroit isn't just horrible.
I mean, but they were playing with a backup quarterback.
They are playing with a backup quarterback, yeah.
and a guy they signed off the street.
They have so had the opportunity to be
They're the same way.
The 49ers this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Your record should be up there because you got the Saints with a backup quarterback. You had the Jets. You had Minnesota beat.
Yeah, like
you should have beat.
Close
New
out
England.
a game. That's the thing. Like, no one's looking. Again, Cowboys are fine. They're a good, solid team.
They're not a solid
but
team.
no, they're a solid
6-5
team. They're a solid team.
team.
Well, it's solid.
Well,
They're not a great team. Great would be 8-3. They're a good, solid team. Solid means
they're just as or more talented than any team in the NFL,
and it's because of their head coach.
Right, they're above 500 in spite of their head coach, and that's
barely above 500.
Right, and the season's not over.
5 games, yeah.
But let's see.
And you're hoping for 3-2. That's the thing. You're hoping for 3-2.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for 3-2. But it kind of comes down to they have to get lucky and win in the playoffs. They have to get on a hot streak. They have to be the Giants.
That's the thing.
Or something like that and get hot at the right time.
Getting hot at the right time. I said that last night watching the Ravens. Like, right now they're hot, but
they may be peaking too early.
Yeah, like,
I kind of
think
they
won 7
San
straight.
Francisco, I think both of those teams are peaking too early.
Yeah, like, can Dallas go on a run? Here's the thing. If Dallas wins 2 games, forget 2. If Dallas wins Thursday, Thanksgiving, we're all like, oh my gosh, we're 7-5. The Dallas Cowboys, we're around the right track. Dak Prescott's MVP. Like, we're there again. Like, that's how we are. And that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. That's where we're at. Like, Jason Garrett doesn't need analytics. Jason Garrett's a coaching coach.
No, even when they're winning, people aren't saying that. Nobody's going, Jason Garrett's the greatest thing ever. Let's keep him.
I never hear Jason Garrett, I never hear his name drop when they win. But his name always pops up when they lose.
Yeah, well, and that's what they were talking about at the beginning of the year, too, when you were giving Kellen Moore so much credit for the offense. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as they lost those 3, that was all Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
So our offense sputtered, and when our offense was rocking, it was Kellen Moore. When the team sucked, it was Jason Garrett, which ultimately it does fall on the head coach. That's your responsibility. That's why you get paid the big bucks. But I think they're going to have a tough time finding a coach to come in because I don't know if Jerry wants to get rid of his coordinators.
So you're talking about this. We were talking about this, but I hang out with Bowman and the fam and all that before we were coming here and record. And he mentioned the guy's name, and I was like, there's no way he's taking that job. And we've had this conversation before.
I had somebody argue with me the other day that Saban would take this job.
I would hate – Saban wouldn't do it. There's no boosters to buy his stuff.
He'd be dumb to do it.
Yeah. No.
You got the perfect scenario where you're at, and you have failed in the pros before.
You're a football royalty.
And you sucked in the NFL.
And there's no reason for you to say, I need to achieve better. No, there is no better. You're Bama. Like, no.
Take Alabama, take being dominant, and go away.
Yeah, go away. Just be fine with it.
But,
like, no. That's the thought. Like, I don't think, even with you mentioned Lincoln Riley before, and then, again, earlier you said Matt Rule leaving Baylor. No. Matt Rule would be an idiot.
I think the next coach for the Dallas Cowboys will be
Bob Stoops. That's what you said that too. So I wouldn't go Bob Stoops.
Now there are people in the Urban Meyer camp, short term, because your next guy. Okay, what you're going to need. This is kind of
a bridge guy.
Universally, you need an authoritarian, disciplinarian coach that's going to come in and put his thumb on everybody. And that message will be good for a year or two, and then people will get tired of it.
Like, what was it a few years ago in Miami when they fired someone mid-season and, like, the strength and conditioning special team jacked up coach was on the sideline. They won the first few games. And then, like, it's
like Mike Singletary dropping his pants as the coach of freaking San Francisco.
I want winners. Yeah. I want winners.
See what I'm saying? So you got to have that guy to come in and shock your culture, and then your coach that you're going to have could come in and be a regular dude.
Yeah,
and
you always
it's not
flip
that bad.
Yeah. It's always the thing about coaching, teaching, all that we talk about all the time. You always flip it. The guy you hired, the guy you got rid of was an authoritative guy. You get a player's coach. If your guy was a player's coach, you bring an authoritative coach to replace it. Like, you always flip it. So don't have the same guy.
Texas Rangers have done that. They went from Wash, which was a player's guy,
Mhm.
and then they went to Bannister, which was kind of an authoritarian. He was a ex-player, but he was kind of more of a in your face guy. And now we're back to a player's guy with the one that's in there now. So
yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want the job.
why would you not want the job?
I mean, yes, the title, the Dallas Cowboy head football coach, on a name plaque would be cool. On a magazine cover, newspaper article would be cool. Standing next to Jerry Jones and the glory that is AT&T Stadium, that'd be cool. Walking on the field, the practice field at the start, Frisco, would be fun. Like,
The only thing that would suck is now instead of just local media, you're going to have national media criticizing
every single thing you do. Like, I don't think the risk are worth the reward.
Oh, they totally are.
I don't know. I mean,
Go in there and win with the Dallas Cowboys, and you will be on TV for the rest of your life.
yeah, I know, but
Okay, so
again, you're looking at 23 years of that not happening.
but you're also looking at one of the most talented rosters they've been able to put together, and you've got a window here before.
And you're the guy that's charged with putting all that together.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm again.
Well, kind of.
Paralysis by analysis.
You're
That's me.
You're the guy that's taking your instructions from Jerry Jones and explaining why you made what decisions and going about your business.
I'm not. I think that's my issue. Like, I don't have the mindset to think about
Okay,
all
so
the positives. I'm just thinking.
okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove you from consideration for the Cowboys coaching
That's
position.
fine. I'll be
We'll
the
go ahead and
analytics.
put you
See, I
in
could be
there.
the analytics guy. I could be the guy on the computer, like, crunching numbers, even though I don't do the math.
Well, and it'd be good too, because it's like, hey, Jason, I don't know if you want to hear this or not, but you know, if you'd go for it, if we get 2 yards on this third down play and you go for it, it's like a 3% chance better that we win this game in the end of it. He's like, shut up, Jermaine. I don't want to hear that. And you're like, okay, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what I thought. I'll go back to my cubby hole now.
I just wanted to tell you.
I'll go my cubicle now. Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to you again in a little bit.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
And he'll be like, okay, good job. Good job.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Not now, Jermaine. I'm clapping.
I'm sorry, sir.
He's like, leave me alone.
You need some
Gotta
lotion, sir.
concentrate.
Your hands are chapped from clapping too much, sir.
I'm going to spit my gum out, and I'm going to tell this guy good job, and I'm not ever going to go over and grab a player or address an issue on the sideline during a game.
And I said this before.
Frustrates me.
And I said this before. I'm so Jason Garrett.
It's
I direct high school plays and junior high one-act plays. I'm so Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
My wife's like, dude, you should be much harder on your kids. Like, no, they'll get it. And they usually perform, and they could probably perform better if I pushed them harder. But I'm pushing them.
Well,
I'm pushing them hard. But like, if I like
there are
swing the
certain
hammer,
people, and you'll figure out as you're harder on them. Like, there's some people you can be as hard as you want to be on them. Makes zero difference. You're not getting through. They don't care.
yeah,
Some people you can challenge. It's like I heard a story yesterday, or maybe it was this morning on the radio. Belichick. It was Tony Gonzalez telling the story.
mm-hmm.
Belichick was coaching at a Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Gonzalez coming off the field or whatever, everybody's having a good time. And he didn't even know Belichick was talking to him. And he pushed his mic up and he's like, Gonzalez, are you ever going to throw a freaking block? And just went right back to talking or whatever. And Tony said he got thinking about it. It's like, because everybody always gave, that was like the knock on Gonzalez was he wasn't a very good blocker and stuff like that. So he said that eat on me, like he was sitting there talking. So I went out the next time we went out and I blocked my butt off. And he said, I come back to the sideline and Belichick was just down there laughing because he got him to care and buy in and do something. He's like, that SOB got me.
Yeah, it's funny because it was like we had a show last week. And the kids they did an excellent job. They did a very good job. But we were probably a week behind, and we could have if they done what they did during the performances a week before, they'd have been 1,000 times better. But they did a really good job. So it was the last rehearsal, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I want to yell at y'all so bad. And the kids were like, yes, please yell at us. Please yell at us. Yes, we need you to
we
yell.
need something to put us in. You
I'm
wouldn't do it.
I can't yell at y'all. Y'all just got to understand what's happening.
Well, some of that's because I go back and forth with this some, but to a large extent, hey, y'all are fixing to be adults. Some of the people I deal with are supposed to be adults. At some point, you've got to take ownership of your position and what you're doing
I was at with it.
and grow up and take it. But like you said, there's still that to where you can get on them. Like if somebody got on me, and a lot of that's because I care so much about what I do and my personality is I know I screwed up. So you yelling at me for screwing up isn't going to help anything because I'm already hard on myself and I'm addressing it and going forward. But there's some people that it just doesn't register with them that they've screwed up. So you have to be able to tell them, look, you're screwing up. I need better from you. You deserve better from yourself. And it's tough and like I said, the people you do that with, it affects everybody different.
Yeah. Cause I had a student and I'd left and came back. So it was a young lady who's a senior now. And I'd worked with her when she was like 6th grade, 7th grade. So she knew my style. And I told her after that happened, we're talking. I was like, yeah, I had a kid I worked with from 7th grade to her senior year. And her last show, she was like, before we got started with rehearsals and everything, like early in the process, she told me, she's like, hey, Burks, at a certain, they'll call me Burks. She's like, Burks, at a certain point, I'm going to need your help. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm going to need you to yell at me. She's like, huh? So she's like, I know you're going to do it. You yell at us. I get it. I said, at a certain point, I'm going to be at a spot and I can't push past I need to push past this point and I can't do it on my own. I need you to yell at me. And when I get to that point, no, it's okay. I'm like, I haven't cast the show yet. So 2 months later at a rehearsal, and she's at this point and she's getting good, but she's like not wanting to go further. And I just forgot the whole conversation and I just lit into her. And she's on stage crying and she's just nodding her head like, yes, yell more, yes, please, thank you. And I got done yelling and I walked off, like, do it again. And I walked off and sat in the dark and she did it and it was incredible. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And she's like, that's what I want you to do, Burks. Thank you for yelling at me. I'm like, oh, crap.
See what I'm saying? So think about the fact that she knew she was going to need that.
Yeah. These kids are like, I'm like, if you're looking for, and I told them, like,
I'm not going to come in here and do that every day.
If you're looking for me to yell at y'all right now at this point, either you know it or you don't.
Right.
You're going to be embarrassed or you don't. I guess that's Jason. Again, I think it's Jason Garrett. Like, hey, guys, we got a game on Thursday.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about this.
We've got together. We've done some stuff.
So either you play well or you don't play well. I mean, regardless, I'm not on the field with you. So what you going to do? Figure it out.
Yeah.
Team on 3.
Be adults, man. See, there you go.
I'm Jason Garrett. That's it. That's all it is. I'm Jason Garrett. I need to be John Harbaugh, but no, I'm Jason Garrett or Bill Belichick. I don't know.
Well, and knowing, because I'm pretty sure you have lots of other people in that play that if you'd have done that same thing with, half of them would shut down.
Yeah.
And you'd get nothing
out of it.
Oh, yeah,
because there's a kid that I wouldn't even yell. I was just like, hey, guy, turn around. And then for 5 minutes, he's like,
right. He's
like, dude, I'm not even yelling. Like, I'm not even correcting. Like, and the kids that I work with, here's the funny thing, because, like, again, off topic, but on topic. Those kids I worked with as kids, like Nichols.
Yeah, okay.
Their kid. I worked with her 3rd, 4th grade, 5th grade. She came in, she's a sophomore now. She was like, y'all know Burks. Like, the one person I didn't have to give notes to was her and another girl, or 2 other girls that I work with as kids. And they're like, I already know that. You told me that when I was in 3rd grade. You told me when I was in 4th grade. You yelled at me. Like, I can still hear you scream at me from 3rd, 4th grade. Like, I didn't yell at you in 4th grade. Like, yeah, you didn't, like, scream at us, but you did yell real loud. Like, yeah, but I didn't yell at you. High school kids, I yelled at them specifically. I just yelled at y'all to get your attention.
Right.
Like, but we understood what you're talking about. So, like, the kids that knew me knew my message, and they're good to go. The kids who didn't know me and didn't understand my message were kind of like.
And sometimes you have to have like that person, whether it be kid, adult, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain relationship that you need to have with that kid or if it's not a relationship, it just at least needs to be that they know you genuinely care about them. And it would be easier for you not to say anything and let them go ahead and not be as good as they could be by not saying anything. And it's easier for everybody. Or the reason you're trying to, what they're considering yelling and getting onto them or whatever, is actually trying to help correct you, to help you be better, is because I care about you.
Yeah.
It's way easier for me not to say nothing, sit back here and let you suck.
You know, it's funny. Again, I'm Jason Garrett. I had the exact conversation with some junior high kids Wednesday. I was like, and again, just silly things. And like, they were backstage talking. I was like, I could let this slide. It's completely dark. It's quiet. They shouldn't say anything. I've said this 100 times. I could not say a word and just wait till the end. Or I could sneak backstage, walk up behind them, and yell in their freaking ear to shut up and get in place. And I was like, I tried talking to them. It didn't work. So I'm going to sneak backstage. And I'll walk backstage. And they didn't know I was there. And they're giggling and laughing. And I just said, get in place. Ah! Like, get there. And I whispered it, like, because you see what I'm doing right now? I'm whispering and communicating with you. I don't have to shout to tell you what I want. They can't hear me out there. You can. Get in place and shut up. And I walked back around, and it was dead silent. I was like, yeah, I'll tell you when you need to know. And so like, I wavered, but then junior high came, and they made me mad, so I just did it. So I'm waiting for them to make me mad. Then I'll yell.
So you deal with kids. I know a lot of people, we deal with adults. Same thing.
Yeah.
Totally same thing.
And then there's some people like, and again, we did the color thing, and like, you just got to know people. Like, in the sense, like, you got, like you said, if you yell at me, I'm going to shut down. I'm Jason Garrett.
Well, I mean, that's, like you said,
but if you pep talk me up, I'm good. But the other person that's next to me, they're like, no, yell at me. Tell them what I'm doing wrong. I need to know. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Help me fix it. Like,
yeah. And then there's the ones that don't care enough for you to do it either way.
Yeah.
I mean, the message just didn't going to get through.
Yeah. So.
And that's rough. But, okay. So, Dallas Cowboys. We've talked for an hour about the Dallas Cowboys and the lack of JGZ getting everybody.
See, there's so much stuff to talk about, but, I mean, in the end, they're America's team.
They are American, and that's it.
Go with that.
And everybody loves the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys.
Or love to hate the Cowboys. I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
They make the game interesting. When they win, it's interesting.
When they lose, it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, whenever they're relevant.
Yeah. They're always relevant because they're the Dallas Cowboys.
They're relevant at 6-5. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jason Garrett, I'm sure, sitting there going, I'm probably the only guy that's leading his division, and everybody's talking about firing his butt.
Yeah.
But such is life as the Dallas Cowboys coach. And
that's why I couldn't do it.
They're in a town right now with the Stars on a freaking hot streak.
No one's talking about them.
In the last 16 games, there's something like 14-1-1. Crazy. 7-game win streak. They started out the season slow, like 1-7. They've completely turned it on. They're going to be dominant this year. Mavericks?
Oh, yeah,
Luka freaking Doncic.
Yeah, he's been like
tied with Giannis for MVP voting at number 2. Both of them are behind LeBron James. That's ahead of Harden. Mm-hmm. That's ahead of
Westbrook.
Anybody else you want to talk about. Yeah, they're ahead of Kawhi. Luka Doncic, if he stays, which everybody thinks, most of the time everybody stays, you get your one big extension, and then after your 9 years, you get 4 years, your 5-year extension, and then maybe he leaves. But we should have 9 years. So say 6 to 7 more good years of Luka Doncic as the Mavericks MVP candidate.
Yeah. And guess what we're talking about?
the fact that Jason Garrett doesn't let his analytics guy give him information.
Give that Harvard kid a chance. Let that education pay off.
Well, he's a Princeton guy.
Yale,
so
Princeton, Yale, whatever. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying Garrett's a Princeton guy.
This shit, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's a Harvard guy. Get him to be your analytics dude.
He would probably be good.
Fitzy Magic.
That's what we need. The Dallas Cowboys currently have 4 ex-quarterbacks on staff. On their freaking coaching staff right now. I say 4. It's 3 to 4. It's Garrett, Kellen Moore, the quarterback's coach that was with Detroit. He was a high school coach in Dallas that they brought up there. Oh, I cannot remember his name. Anyway, so there's just 3. There's 3 quarterbacks currently on their coaching staff right now. If we could add 4 and we had Fitzpatrick be their freaking analytics guy. But I'm pretty sure there's a young kid that's probably faster with numbers than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'm so tuned you out. I'm just trying to figure out who that third coach is.
Yeah,
I know exactly who you're talking about. Waxahachie.
Yeah, I would prefer to have a young guy that probably didn't play football and we don't have to worry about CTE issues. And stuff. That's what
we're going to finish recording this and I'm going to be like, oh, I know his name. And then I'll have to go on Facebook and fix that.
It's like Matt something.
No, it's not Matt.
You can look it up. Be the research department. Hold on. Let's see if we can get something.
How would you even search that? You got to fade it out, though. I don't want to clap for it.
Okay, can you find it? No. Okay, our research
Assistant coaches, let's see.
See, this is probably what Jason Garrett is worried about with his analytics guy. He's like, I'm not fast at making decisions, so if you don't get the information to me quick,
it's not on here.
I'm not going to be able to do anything with it. Oh, come on.
It's not on here.
He's got a bald head.
I know you're talking about.
Quarterback's coach for the Dallas Cowboys will be listed on there.
It's not. I mean, his name's not on here. Okay, let me see quarterback's coach because I put Dallas Cowboys.
No, yeah, quarterback's coach. Definitely.
Coaching staff, and it wasn't there. Oh, it's freaky.
I mean, I'm running out of sound effects, Jermaine. Come on, you got it.
So get the crickets. Wade Wilson. John Kitna. There we go. I know the K. I saw it. Cincinnati Bengals, all that. Yeah, he even played for the Cowboys. There we go.
It's amazing.
John Kitna. Yeah. Right. So I think we should stop talking.
Yeah, I think
our wives are going to get us. But it's been good. Hey, it's good to be back, y'all. I know. My schedule's been so crazy. It's my fault. It's completely my fault. Hey,
we'll get it.
The next time you see us, the Cowboys will be 1-0 in the playoffs and
hopefully we'll get out before.
Real fast, I will say this. Congratulations to the Mejia Black Cat football team. Tough loss in the second round of the playoffs, losing to Sunnyvale.
Yeah, Sunnyvale.
The Sunnyvale Raiders 28-17, but congrats to Coach Sandoval and those guys. Had a great year. Finished second in district, and I think I'll be honest with you, based on preseason and the thoughts of everybody here in Mejia, exceeded expectations tremendously. So keep your head up. I know seniors, it's a hard loss because that was their last game, but you've set a foundation that's pretty good. And the best thing about it was this, and I'll say this, and I know we said we're going to shut up. I hope this really does happen. This year's squad changed the way Mejia portrays itself on the field and off the field, but especially on the field with adversity. Because in the past, a Mejia team would be like, oh, we're down 14 points, and then shut it down.
Yeah,
this team was resilient and looked at adversity in the face and struck back, didn't back down, and found a way to pull out a win. Because did you hear about how they won their the first round playoff game against Bullard?
I heard they were down and they had to come back.
Yeah, they're down 14 points in the second half. Tied it up, went to overtime, scored on the first play of overtime. Bullard scores, so Bullard goes for the 2-point conversion. Quarterback run a draw play, gets the 2-point conversion, drops back, runs right the middle, wide open. The Red Sea has parted. If he would have stuck his hand out, ball would have crossed the playing ball game. Inches.
Mm-hmm.
Inches. No, I wouldn't even say inches. I would say an inch. our quarterback was playing safety, hits our linebacker, so it's like a domino effect. A quarterback who's playing safety hits our linebacker lunges into the quarterback, stops him dead in his tracks, falls down right in front of the goal line. The ball is across the plane. We win by a point. It was crazy. I wasn't even there. I heard on the radio, but
awesome.
It's great. So congrats to them. Basketball season starting. That's something a lot of y'all wanted to hear, but hope to see some success on the hardwood. And Lady Cats won. I think they're like 5-0, 4-1. They beat Waco High today, 42-40. So Mahaya's got big things. So congrats to all of them. And good luck to everybody in week 3 of the playoffs. Conley Cadets, La Vega Pirates, all those guys. Y'all keep it going. And that's all I have. Enjoy Thanksgiving, stuffing, dressing, turkey, however you want to call it. Drink Pepsi if you're inclined to drink Pepsi. If you want to drink Coke, drink Coke. Long story.
Yeah, y'all'd have to be at a hypnotist show to understand that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Second Best with Bowman and Burks.
We're out.
You gonna take all this down? You're gonna leave it up?
I'll probably leave it up.
I love this thing.
It's cool. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Now let me show you here.